Hello and welcome to the Screencast demo lesson. The purpose of this lesson is to showcase the use of screen capturing within a tutoring lesson. The content found within this presentation has not been reviewed and should not be used for study or academic purposes. This lesson is going to focus on decimals. Within this lesson, we will introduce the decimal system as well as adding and subtracting numbers that have decimals. The decimal system. The decimal system pretty much represents different values of numbers. If we look at the example number 654,321.12345, we'll notice that each number can be divided into their own units or values. Therefore, if we look at the number 2, the number 2 represents tens. Within this value, we have two tens. We now know that this 2 represents 20. The same can be done with any number. The 3, for example, falls in the hundreds place value. Therefore, we know that this 3 actually represents 300. This aids us when reading this number aloud or when using numbers in any mathematical equation. The same thing can be applied to numbers that fall to the right of the decimal point. We should know that numbers to the left equate to whole numbers, while numbers to the right of the decimal equates to fractions of numbers. Therefore, the 1 here represents tenths, while the 2 represents hundredths, the 3 thousandths, the 4 ten thousandths, and the 5 500 thousandths, or 100 thousandths rather. Using this logic, we can now add and subtract decimals. If we look at these 3 numbers, or these 4 numbers, the first thing we'll need to do is line up the decimal points. Writing out the numbers simply as it is, each decimal point will fall at a different position. So therefore, we want to make sure that they're all lined up. So when we rewrite this, we want to make sure that regardless of how many numbers fall to the right and left of the decimal point, that the decimal point actually does line up. This might be confusing for some people. One aid that is often done is the use of zeros as placeholders. Therefore, we know that this number is empty, but if we wanted to just make sure everything lined up as we wanted it to, we could just include zeros. The same thing applies to using subtracting numbers with decimals. What we would like to do first is make sure each number has decimal points that add up. Once this is done, we're able to subtract and add these numbers as we would with whole numbers. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Yes.